From the time she was young, it was her dream to run at the collegiate level. That dream has taken Angelina Vasquez from her hometown of Barstow, California, to the highest level of Division I competition. And along the way, she's faced the highs of success and the lows of injury and mental health struggles, and ultimately found a home where she could truly thrive. Now, the UNLV junior is sharing that journey in her essay, The Athlete's Voice, The Art of Becoming, a story about resilience, identity, and rediscovering the joy of the sport she loves. Hello everyone, welcome back inside the Mountain West Network studio. I'm Karlie Drew, and I'm so pleased to now be joined by UNLV cross country and track and field athlete, Angelina Vasquez. Angelina, it's so great to have you with us today.
Thank you, I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, your essay, The Athlete's Voice, The Art of Becoming, was recently published on athletes.org. But before we get into all of that, how did your running story begin?
Well, my dad's a runner, so it just runs in the family. I used to be a soccer player, so I was always like soccer, soccer, soccer. My dad was like, no, like you can't have soccer without a running base. And I really just fell in love with running. I fell in love with cross country first. I did it since middle school up until high school, then, obviously in the collegiate level. But then I was introduced to track my junior year of high school. And so it was just up from there. My dad was my coach. And so I knew I had that, security. I knew he knew what he was doing. And it just excelled from there. It was just always fun. And I just loved it so much.
Right. And what a great support system to have your dad be your coach. What was that experience like for you? Was it harder than, now being a D1 athlete, having your coaches, or was it nice? Was he easy on you? What was that dynamic like growing up?
I don't think my dad was ever easy on me. People probably think that. They're like, oh, like you got special treatment. No, like he had that expectation of me. He knew what I could bring to the table and I knew what I could bring. So every practice is like, he was hard on me, but I was also hard on myself because I knew what I could do and I knew what I wanted to achieve. So, but it was always love, at the end of the day, it was like, okay, I had a bad practice, like, how can we get better? Or I had a bad race, let's talk about it at home and like, how can we, get better the next meet? But it was always it was love, he really wanted me just to be the best I could be. And it really prepared me mentally, emotionally for being trained at the D1 level.
Right. And so, Angelina, being a student athlete is far more than just competing. It's about the balance, handling pressure, growth even. And in your essay you shared, I felt like I was in a never-ending battle trying to prove myself and find identity. What would you say, or how did you find your identity? What were your core values or pillars that helped you, ground yourself and ultimately just be confident in your worth?
Yeah, so I found myself really reaching out to sports psych, and they really were just like, every day, just think about what you're grateful for. 5 things that you can do, like using your senses. What can you see that you're thankful for? What can you smell? I was doing everything to really try to just bring myself back to the Angelina that I knew, that kind of got lost amongst, the limelight, everything going on, and really just trying to ground myself again and just being thankful. Like I said, going back to the, support system I had, my mom always just really like, hey, this is what you prayed for and this is what you've worked hard for, regardless of, the stress and all the noise that's going on. Let's take a step back, and just really having those people around me who were able to look at me not just as an athlete but as a person, and were able to just remind me of, like things that I bring to the table. Like I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. Just really just ground me back, because I just got caught up in just being an athlete. It's my whole life from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. So just, really relying on the support system I had, and just really remembering who I was before being introduced to this level of athletics.
Those constant reminders from your family probably were so important in those times of transition and challenges you faced. In your essay, you also mentioned, and you kind of just touched on it there a bit, remember, we are more than just athletes. We're all individuals with unique stories and journeys. How important is that message, not only to athletes, but everyone?
I think it's super important. Everybody's going through, something that they don't talk about. And regardless of if you're an athlete or you're a regular student, everybody's struggling. College is different. You're away from home. Some people are at different states, different countries. Like it is a lot, and you're trying to handle your major, your minor, so many things you're trying to take on your own. And it really does get, lonely, and everybody, deserves to share because so many people can relate to things that people say.
And Angelina, you've been so honest about how hard it was to find your fit early on once you reached that collegiate level. What has it meant to you to now call UNLV home?
It feels so good. It feels good to wake up and be excited to go to practice and to be in practice and, wanting to hang out with my teammates even after practice, not wanting to be alone. I loved USC, I made, amazing friendships. It helped me learn so much about myself, I don't regret being there, but it just wasn't a fit for me. And I love, everybody there, the coaches, everything. It just didn't work for me. But, UNLV it just feels like home. And I knew that as soon as I stepped on campus for my visit. And, like I said, like I mentioned, the coaches just make everything feel so much better, just the energy, and their energy bleeds into the team. And the team is it's just like really good family dynamic we have going on here.
What else is it about this UNLV program that just feels so right to you, Angelina?
It's just like the hunger that everybody has. It's a little different, We're not like, oh, this is like the biggest school, like, oh, like USC is so big, like, but we are just as hungry to be the best that we can be. And we bring that to every practice. And, even when we're like, no, like it's too early, it's hard, it's hot today, everybody just brings that, and everybody's just supporting each other. And, we haven't really known each other that long, but I already have like really good friendships that I feel like I've known them for years. And it really just feels like everybody's just connecting on the team because we all have, a goal this year along with the coaches. And you can feel the energy amongst the whole group, which is really what.
And that can make the biggest difference. For
Mhm.
other student athletes who may be going through similar challenges, what message do you hope that they take away from your story?
Just talk. It sounds so simple, it sounds like super easy, but it took me a whole year to finally be like, I should probably get some help. But it's something that's so easy, but it's so hard to do. But me having this message is just in hopes that people will reach out, even if it's to me, or just know that sports psych really played such a big, part in my life, and just really understanding your emotions, not pushing them away. Being an athlete or being a person, you go through life so fast. And you're always thinking about, oh, what should I do tomorrow? Like, what should I do in the next hour? Instead of really just understanding, oh, like I'm upset right now. Like let me figure out why I'm upset. Let me figure out my emotions right now in order for my next hour to be better than the hour I'm sitting in right now. And it's just taking life a little slower. Life is gonna go at a pace it's gonna go, and we don't need to just move with it, move at your own pace. And it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be enjoyable. And if you want life to be good, you need to really make it good yourself. You can't expect life to just be like, today's gonna be a good day. You need to make that for it yourself. And yeah, that's really what I would just say.
Yeah, absolutely. So inspiring, Angelina, because in a sport, when you are go, 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 wanting to move fast, PR, get your best time, a record time, meet
Yeah.
records, all of the above, it's that constant reminder. And something I even tell myself is that we're not meant to live this fast. So what an important reminder. Your story, Angelina, without a doubt is going to inspire athletes across the Mountain West, but also maybe those little runners out there
Yeah,
who have the same dream that you once did. So just thank you so much for your time here today.
of course. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Everyone, that was Angelina Vasquez of UNLV cross country and track and field. Her story, a reminder that chasing a dream isn't always a straight path, but with resilience and the right support, it can lead you exactly where you're meant to be. You can read her full essay, The Athlete's Voice, The Art of Becoming. We'll have a link posted on our website at themw.com. From the Mountain West Network studio, I'm Karlie Drew.